President Trump's former campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, is reportedly mulling a Senate run in New Hampshire. Lewandowski has not officially filed to run, but he's already attacked his potential opponent. That would be Senator Shaheen. He called her a partisan hack.
Meanwhile, the state's Republican governor has vetoed legislation that would have created a bipartisan commission to redraw New Hampshire's voting maps after the 2020 election, removing lawmakers from the process. Joining us via Skype to discuss all of this is Kate Day. She's a local committee chair for the New Hampshire GOP and previously served as chairwoman of the Cheshire County Republican Committee. Kate, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to talk to you this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you give us the New Hampshire GOP's kind of position on the potential run of Corey Lewandowski and what we can expect for the next couple of months from him and from your party generally?
Well, I am personally neutral in this situation, as is the party, and we're very excited to have a robust primary, and we have two that have declared already to run, and with Corey, there's another two that may be running, and what we're excited about is beating Extreme Shaheen and putting someone who would represent our state better in D.C.
Extreme Shaheen. Tell me, how is she viewed in the state? I mean, the numbers I saw, she's fairly popular. Do you think that you have a shot at beating her this cycle?
I really think we do, because the Democrats right now have gone so far left. And when it comes to Shaheen, we have yet another Democrat who, like on the stance of abortion, is okay with it up till birth. And in Shaheen's case, she is okay if a baby survives abortion of not giving it any medical help. And we have Democrats that are.
What do you base that
on? What she has voted on, and she did not vote to protect the life of a child that survives an abortion, and she does not want to put any restriction on abortion. And so, but that's not even like the major issue for most of us. She is also extreme in I think most all of the Democrat candidates, especially for president, are in favor of some sort of new Green Deal, which, is going to take away our cows and our airplanes. The left, the Democrats have gone so far left, there's no moderates in there anymore. And I think this is a good chance for Republicans who believe in capitalism, who are against socialism, to really say, look, we're your party. We're your party that believes in the Constitution, believes in individual rights, and come and join us.
Just to be clear, that the cow and the airplane thing isn't a real thing that's in the Green New Deal, but it's certainly major sweeping legislation that would have far-reaching impacts. Talk to me about the state of play for the primary there, both on the Democratic side and the Republican side. The president has a couple of challengers in the Republican primary. Do you see any interest in an alternative to Trump among your fellow Republicans?
I don't know anybody that even remotely knows their name, except maybe Weld, and they remember that he ran as a libertarian and said he would never run as a Republican again, if I recall that right. And I'll tell you this, during 2016, when I was a county chair, I did not see Trump winning the primary. I was listening to the pundits, and I thought, there's no way that Trump is going to win this. And then he did. And then I started really paying attention to what I was seeing on the ground. And there was such excitement for Trump. We had people coming into the headquarters who had never voted before, and they were very excited about Trump. Now, like, I just worked at a county fair, the excitement for Trump right now is overwhelming. The rally that he just had in New Hampshire, first of all, let me just say, It was packed. There were nearly 12,000 people in the arena and anywhere from 5 to 8,000 standing outside. I personally know of 40 people who walked away because the crowds, they couldn't find the end of the line. There were so many people there. And there were blacks for Trump, there were immigrants for Trump, there were gays for Trump, there were women for Trump. And people were there and they were happy. It wasn't just about Trump, it was about being able to be happy and proud to be an American and happy to celebrate our flag, our military. The police walked by and people cheered for them. And they just want to be proud of America. And that's what,
Kate,
for me, Trump represents.
yeah, so Kate, what are some of those other issues that you're talking about that are going to be important to New Hampshire voters in particular? Because you've mentioned a lot of things that have been discussed kind of on the national stage as far as the Green New Deal and, the capitalism versus socialism debate and some of those types of things. But are there any local issues that we can expect to be close to the hearts of New Hampshire voters this time around in not only the Senate race, but also in the primaries?
Well, are we talking like for governor and our state reps and senators for the state of New Hampshire?
No, more so, are there issues that are particular to New Hampshire, like, agricultural issues, or are there issues surrounding the opioid crisis or anything like that in regards to health care, things that you're hearing on the ground that we may not be hearing in D.C.?
Well, healthcare is an issue. And I personally know of someone who, before Obamacare, when we had a high risk state insurance pool, where if you had a pre existing condition, you could get state insurance through the state, her premiums were much lower and her deductibles were much lower. Now that we only have, I believe, one or two choices in the marketplace, and with the marketplace, Obamacare, ACA, whatever you want to call it, there not only do you have high premiums, high deductibles, but you can't go out of state for care, which is a big issue for us in New Hampshire. We have some great facilities in New Hampshire, but we also have access to world-renowned healthcare in Boston. My husband, for example, goes to Dana-Farber. And so the healthcare is not working. We have people that used to could afford healthcare, but now the premiums are so high, they're doing without. So there are people that have been helped through subsidies, but if you don't qualify for the subsidy, you really have healthcare that's not really accessible because of the cost and the deductibles, that they're really not going to be able to use it. So healthcare is an issue. The opioid, President Trump was the first to really make that a national issue during the 2016 debates.
Has he done enough there, do you think, Kate?
Well, I know Governor Sununu and President Trump have really worked on trying to take federal funds and state coordination to try to make a difference in that. There are some new programs that are going to be tried, are in the process right now. I think we also have to think about and appreciate what President Trump is trying to do from keeping the drugs coming into the country in the first place. Right. So secure borders and that kind of thing are also very important to a lot of people on the ground here. Sure. Protecting the Second Amendment is also something that is very important. There are a lot of times that legislators, especially in DC, will try to pass laws that really, even if they were enacted, they wouldn't have stopped some of these mass shootings that we're seeing. And so we have to balance that and look at what's the cause of some of the things, and not, we have a whole lot of.
Certainly a lot for us to look at and continue to talk about and debate. Kate, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too. Next up on Rising, on the Democrat side, all eyes are on the debate this month.
But some of the contenders have voiced objections to the DNC's rules. We dive into the issue next.